president can't create funding out of thin air.
A day out from food stamp payments going unpaid, Congressman Michael Baumgartner takes a look at surging demand in eastern Washington and answers our questions about the funding debate.
Ending the month of October on a spooky gray note, but otherwise quiet conditions for trick-or-treaters. I am tracking showers and very windy conditions for your Saturday.
In continuing coverage, the 18-year-old accused of killing the Chaz COO in a hit-and-run crash is back in court this afternoon. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Amanda Rowley. Mark has the night off. Well, Halloween is today and we are under a weather impact alert for high winds in the area tomorrow. Let's check in with meteorologist Michelle Voss for a look at the weather conditions we're going to be facing for Halloween weekend. Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Yeah, it's going to be a lot more active tomorrow, but for today, thankfully, for trick-or-treaters, it is going to be pretty quiet and appropriately gloomy. Temperatures outside, not warm, but not frigid, considering how cold it can get this time of year. Across the region, temperatures generally in the low to mid 40s. Right now, it's 45 in the valley, 43 degrees in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Here's a look at the short-term forecast, whether you're going to be heading out the door now or in the next couple of hours. We don't expect a whole lot of changes. Temperatures are going to be staying pretty consistent and the clouds are not going away. We have had a few sprinkles moving through, but that's about it. Kind of zooming in what we're seeing out there as far as any wet weather now pushing into Coeur d'Alene. A couple of drops and then that's out of here. We don't see any other wet weather until later tonight. But wind advisories will go into effect tomorrow. Could see wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. It's going to be windy overall, though. Peak winds tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then things will settle down on Sunday. If you got a bunch of leaves blowing off the trees, you can do that. Raking on Sunday. Mostly sunny, just a little bit breezy still. High temperatures around 50. It looks like the upcoming week will be rather wet.
Michelle, and breaking news within the last 2 hours, Spokane Valley Fire Department crews are responding to a major crash tonight. They're responding to a 3-vehicle crash with 1 vehicle rolled over at the intersection of South Bowdish Road and East 12th Avenue. You can see here the tow truck flipping that one car back over. Authorities are urging people to please drive with caution in the area. Well, federal judges say the Trump administration must pay out SNAP benefits, at least partially. The ruling comes the same day Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner made a stop in Spokane to hear how local food banks are handling a surge in demand because of the shutdown. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy caught up with him.
SNAP benefits will go unpaid starting this Saturday. This morning, Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner got a first-hand look at what that means here at Second Harvest.
We drive over here.
Congressman Baumgartner says he's heard the fear and worry coming out of the shutdown and lapse in food assistance payments. Now he's seeing it.
They're already starting to stock up on items, and that's why you can see the reduction in number of items here in the warehouse.
Touring empty shelves, team members like Eric Williams say are a clue.
And we've got a lot of space that's filled with, looks like, hey, you got food. No, those are empty banana boxes.
To how strained food banks are right now.
COVID level anxiety, except without the extra food.
With demand at drive-through food pickups surging to more than double what Second Harvest usually sees.
This week, at pretty much every one of them, we've had to turn away 50 to 70 cars, and that's really dreadful.
Baumgartner blames Democrats for what he calls holding food aid hostage.
We're doing everything we can to try to get the government open. Of course, the budget that I voted for fully funded the food programs like WIC and SNAP, and we need our Democrat colleagues to step forward and agree to fund those.
But some, now including 2 federal judges, say there are provisions to fund food assistance during a shutdown and that the Trump administration is legally required to do so. We asked Baumgartner about those claims hours before the ruling, requiring at least partial payments to SNAP recipients.
Well, I think that's just a distraction from the Democrats because of their nervousness. That in reality, they're the ones that have shut the government down. I mean, it is Congress that has to appropriate funds and pass the budget. The president can't create funding out of thin air.
Even with that ruling, food stamp payments may be delayed by weeks. In the meantime, Baumgartner is asking people across the inland Northwest to donate to programs like Second Harvest. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
And while judges ruled on SNAP program funding, the government remains shut down heading into next week. The White House says U.S. military forces will be paid today as scheduled. The Office of Management and Budget tells CBS that $5.3 billion will come from military housing and research funds, as well as a Pentagon procurement account. But a spokesman for the Senate Majority Leader John Thune made clear today he won't get rid of the filibuster to reopen the government.
One of my priorities as leader will be to ensure that the Senate stays the Senate. That means preserving the legislative filibuster.
That was from Thune's first day of the current Congress. The spokesman said, quote, Leader Thune's position on the importance of the legislative filibuster is unchanged, end quote. And we have been hearing from people who are concerned they won't be able to feed their families, especially with the government shutdown ending funding for some food assistance programs. There's no one answer in how to help, but here at KREM, we have been working on the annual KREM Cares Turkey Drive. It's launching in stores over the weekend, and we will kick things off on Monday. And we know the need will be great. We have to raise funds to provide 8,500 boxes, and we know by all means that won't be enough to serve everyone, but it's a start. Well, the Trump administration fired a top USDA official here in Washington. Today, we are still working to learn why. John Weiss was the state director of the Washington State Farm Service Agency up until Wednesday. This is an appointed position with every new presidency. President Trump first appointed Weiss during his first term, and Biden kept him on staff. All this as SNAP benefits were set to expire tomorrow before federal judges ruled this morning the food aid program must be funded. Representative Dan Newhouse released a statement. He said, in quote, John Weiss has dedicated his career to helping farmers in Washington state, and he has been an asset in making sure we are a leader in the U.S. agriculture industry, rather. He also called the firing a mistake and says Weiss was a true advocate for farmers in Washington state. Now, one of the suspects involved in a deadly shooting blocks away from GU campus faced a judge today. Marius Velasquez faces first-degree murder and first-degree robbery charges. Thurston County deputies arrested Velasquez on Western Washington near Olympia Monday night. Police say the shooting started as a dispute over a title of a car. A judge ordered him to be held on a $1.5 million bond, citing his lengthy criminal history. Neither the suspects nor the victim are related to Gonzaga. Well, we still have plenty of news to get onto here at KREM 2 News at 5 coming up. The suspect accused of killing Chaz COO Sarah Doxey is back in court this afternoon, and we hear the latest updates in the hit-and-run case. And today is the last day to donate for our Treats to Troops campaign. We'll go over what the program is and how to donate.